Thanks for listening to the NVTV podcast, produced by Neuqua Media.
Welcome to this episode of the NVTV podcast. I'm Presley Kicker.
And I'm Chloe O'Keefe.
On today's show, we are going to be debriefing variety show that happened this past February. Joining me today is our reoccurring guest, Mr. Russell. Thanks for being here today.
Hello.
Welcome, Mr. Russell.
This has been the long-anticipated podcast. And
Yes.
when I say anticipated, I mean anticipated. Yeah.
Our listeners greatly enjoy my presence.
Oh,
on
yeah,
this
they
podcast.
do. Oh, yeah.
Clearly, but Miss Trout said that this is the last Mr. Russell podcast. She was like, we're done. This is it. This is the last one.
I think given my name is in the example,
Yep.
it should basically.
I didn't even realize that. Okay.
This is like a view here. We got the windows. People are just viewing.
We have an audience.
This
Yes,
must
we
be
do.
like in the zoo or something. I mean,
We're an
they're
exhibit.
waving. Is this
We're
like
an
our
exhibit.
studio audience? Oh, hi, Charlie.
We have the Neuqua Replay boys looking in as they're frantically trying to get their episode or their segment out.
Fun fact: they asked if I could be on a podcast,
Did they?
Oh.
but I have nothing sports related to discuss.
Right.
Yep.
And then they got deeply confused by that.
They were like, "How dare you not know anything about sports?" Is that what
I
you
know
mean?
stuff about sports. I'm just like, I don't think I'm a valuable contributor to that type of conversation.
Yeah.
But you know what you are a value contributor for?
Segue.
Variety show.
V show. Okay, so Mr. Russell, tell us. Many know, but for the people that don't, for our listeners that don't know, what's your role in V Show?
So during the month of February, which includes both Orcsis Variety Show, I oversee all of the technical elements for the show. So what that includes is anything lighting-wise, so the fixtures that come in, lighting fixtures that come in, how things look for the different scenes of the dances. I also oversee audio, so bringing in, we have a concert-level PA system that comes in, deciding all of the microphones, what will be used during what act, kind of putting together the design of the sound of how we want each act to sound. What else is there? I guess the staging I kind of do too.
Yeah.
I guess I kind of also decide somewhat with Mr. Schaub and Mr. G the order of the show. Typically, I'm the no person.
Yep.
Pretty much, he does everything.
Yes.
He
pretty
does
much.
it all. The man of many trades.
I don't do
Many
media.
things.
I don't touch video. I don't know how video works.
Hey, but that's okay.
But he knows how sound
He knows
works.
everything else.
I don't know how video works.
So Chloe is going to explain to you guys kind of what our role was in Variety Show this year, which is different than like a new role that there hasn't been in past years.
Yeah. So Presley and I oversaw the social media aspect of Variety Show, and in the past, no one really took charge on.
It was me, and I didn't have time.
He maybe would post just a couple
It was
posts.
bad.
And Presley and I, we just really wanted to like gain a lot of attention for Variety Show to get more people to come out. So throughout the entire audition process, the rehearsals, and then the actual shows, we just posted a variety of different things.
No pun intended.
We posted a variety of different things on the Instagram, like little promo videos, pictures, little questionnaires with the cast. And I feel like we gained a good amount of,
We gained like 56 followers from our first post to the opening night.
yeah, and we posted like little promos, and I feel like
Yeah.
a lot of people saw it, and I think it was a success.
I did too, and I think we took more of a creative approach than past years. No offense, but it was just like if you don't have
None taken.
if you're not like putting a time into it, it's not going to look
Yeah.
awesome because you're just posting like the V Show title screen. But we like got the cast involved,
Right,
and I
if
think
people didn't know what that was, then
right.
Well, see, here's the thing to stick up for myself.
no hate.
You know, we got long rehearsal days.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Note to Miss Trout, you need blinds in your studio recording room.
replay boys are being a bit weird, but that's okay.
This is very distracting as I'm like the
We
dog with
blinded.
the squirrel,
Yep,
where it's like,
yep.
oh, action going on elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so like social media posting, me.
Mm-hmm.
I'd take a couple photos, get back to rehearsal, and I'd get home at night and be like, crap, I never posted anything.
But you had a lot other stuff.
And then
that
I
you
just
needed
never
to
really
worry
did
about.
it.
Yeah, but it wasn't like you had
'Cause
more
I've-
important, because that has to go on the back burner in,
Yes.
Like-
Y'all did a great job.
Yeah.
so what's your rating
you.
of the overall social media? What could have been improved and what was perfect?
I would say I thoroughly enjoyed the daily postings, the fact that the account was extremely active.
Very active.
During that
We
week.
were very involved.
What I did not approve was the photos of myself.
Oh.
You wanted those taken.
You were like, I think you sent me the video of you in the car to post on the
You're
account.
like, wait, let me put my feet up. Take this photo.
Yeah. So.
I mean, I did have to stage it a little bit, or I would end up like the ones where like Mr. G just looks like he's angry.
Okay, those were so funny
they
though.
were funny.
I got Mr. G kind of dirty in a lot of those. But the first Almost Show Day post, okay, for context, every single day we did, leading up to the show, we did like the Almost Show Day, which is like the Almost Friday post that happened. So we did Almost Show Day, and the first Almost Show Day we did, Russell was pretty much every other
Majority
slide.
of
Because
every
when I
photo.
asked people for pictures, it's just Russell in every single one they sent me. So I was like, well,
I'm just everywhere.
Guy of many talents.
right, clearly he was
I'm
everywhere.
Everywhere.
Okay, so other than not liking yourself in the pictures, was it just perfect and you fixed nothing else?
It was great. I'm scared for next year. I hope you guys trained up some interns or something.
No.
Well,
We're all scared for next year.
That's your job.
yeah.
that's my job.
You gotta
Great. So
recruit
we're
the
going
new-
back.
the
You know
new
what? At
people.
least we got some increase of followers this year. So
That's
maybe
true.
I can take them through a journey of one post a week next year.
Right.
They're gonna say what
sure.
happened. Maybe we'll have to come back.
We had our growth. There we go.
The people who you guys try to recruit for next year are going to have to be willing to make the time commitment.
Yeah.
Because you have to be at the practices for that. Another cool thing Chloe and I kind of got to do this year for variety shows, like be in for the auditions and like help with that.
Oh,
And it
that's
was
right. I forgot about those.
Yeah.
Yeah. And something that was so cool was seeing how the act started
to the end.
to the end.
Yeah.
One example, Jesse, like how when he first performed it and when we were in the auditions, Mr. G was like, what if we had backup dancers? And I was like, Mr. G, you're crazy. But then actually seeing Jesse perform with the backup dancers, with the lights, it really was.
Yeah, it was really cool to just see from start to finish everything, because I mean neither of us have been involved in variety show or anything like previous to this, so it was cool to like really be in on it and not really knowing what to expect.
Yeah, I was glad that I didn't have to film it though. I think filming variety shows a lot,
Yeah.
and I would have been overwhelmed. Especially, I was seeing like Kendall, like with the
Shout out to media.
yeah, shout out to media,
Shout out media.
shout
out Drew,
Drew.
Kendall, Charlie, Luke,
I just saw
Jillian.
Jaden.
Jaden.
I saw Kendall with like the big thing over her shoulder, and I'm like, my arm hurts.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure the strike was just awful after the last show, and so I'm glad that I got to miss that. So
I like audio.
yeah,
I
see,
sit
you
there.
don't have to do much.
Yeah.
Well, like you have to do you don't have to like physically do much.
There's images of that too.
Oh yeah.
Of what?
There's images of
Me with my
everything.
feet up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think I took it. You're like, I was like, we need some Almost Show Day posts, and then we come over there and you're putting your feet up.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a great time.
What was your favorite act of the show? Are we allowed to discuss favorite acts?
I liked them all.
Yes.
But if I had to choose some standouts, the Mark Hagland experience to end out the show was always fun.
Yes, that
Bathtub
is
camping.
definitely an experience.
You know, the totally not staged or rehearsed at all encore on the closing night was
Yep.
fun too.
Yeah, that was a surprise for the audience.
Love that.
Totally not staged.
If you saw it last year, you would have seen that performance.
You would have known
yeah.
that performance.
Yep.
The opening, the Waterloo Boys were fun too.
Oh, yeah, I
love
liked
I
them.
love a good Pearl Jam tune.
Yeah.
Did they do it last year?
No.
They did not.
Yeah, I was
No,
going to say they're new.
They're new.
To our listeners, I love having more bands. So
Yeah.
if you want to sign up to be a band,
Start forming your band now.
start practicing.
Sign up for
Practice.
next year's V show. Start
Because
practicing
if I don't have
today.
enough bands, I'm not going to rent the equipment to do bands.
Right.
Because it saves me some money. Actually, it saves Mr. G some money. 'Cause
Right,
he's
and
the,
we got
he's
that.
the
You guys got to
financial
step
manager
up.
for this.
Bathtub
up.
camping's out next year.
Yes,
Step
that's
up.
going to be
It's
crazy.
your time.
A V show without bathtub camping, that hasn't happened in 2 years.
Yeah, I know.
So that's going to be really interesting. One of my favorites was Xander and Abby. I just thought it was so cutie. Like, it just made me happy watching them on the screen and not on the screen, on the stage. But I'm really excited to see Xander, like, senior year when he's, like, really grown into his voice. I think he's going to be really good. So I'm super excited for that.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun time.
All right, overall ratings of V Show. All in all, audio, camera, acts.
Overall thoughts.
How everything went.
It was a solid time.
Solid. That's all you got?
1 out of 10.
I don't. I'm gonna give it a. I'm gonna give it a. We'll give it a 7 to 8 out. A 7.5 out of 10.
Okay.
There's
Okay.
always room for
Fair.
improvement.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's true.
Always
I
room
like
for
that.
improvement. You know, there's audio wise, and it feel like we were locked in until the last night, and that was a major area where
Yeah.
we improved next year. Lighting was good. We
Yeah, I
could
thought
do
the
some
lighting
more
was cool.
intricate cueing in some areas next year.
I thought the lighting on, what was his name of the guy who was a really good guitarist? The really long hair?
Oh,
Eddie?
Jack.
yes, Jack.
Jack. His lighting was really good. I got some super cool videos of him.
That
And,
was fun.
like, his performance was really, really cool. And he definitely brought all the
Yeah.
energy.
I thought it was cool from like a perspective of somebody if they've never been. Like you don't see that lighting in like, you know, like the choir concerts or like stuff like that. Like it's
Yeah.
different, and I feel like it's like
That'd be pretty cool though.
yeah, it would be cool. But it's like it's like a fun time for people. Like, and if you haven't seen it, like it's cool that like we have the ability to like do that.
I think a misconception and why not all people like think to go to variety shows. I think they might think it is just like
Something like that, yeah.
Like a concert,
That's why
like
you
a
should
choir.
follow the Insta, see what it's all about,
see the promos.
see what it's about.
At was it Neuqua Variety Show?
Neuqua
I
Variety
think
Show.
I think that's the
I don't think
Instagram.
they had NV Variety Show.
Let me plug it really
Probably
fast.
not. Yeah.
Before we wrap up here, I'm going to give you guys the Instagram, and if you're listening, we
Give it a
won't-
follow.
yeah, it's just
Start.
Neuqua Variety Show. That's all it is
Follow right now.
for hopefully some good content next
I
year.
have logged out of the account on my phone because I got tired of getting the notifications.
Because we spammed it so much that so
Yeah.
many people were
It
giving.
was really fun during the week, and then I was
Yes.
done.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll log back in December.
That's why I turned off the
Yeah.
notifications. All of a
Start practicing now for next year. Get
Yep.
your bands together.
Auditions are in January, right after winter break. So
Shows the second weekend in February. It's
Yep.
already on the calendar.
Yeah,
already on the calendar.
Look
So
at that.
be ready. So that's a wrap on our V Show debrief. I
And our
think,
V show post what we did after V show.
yeah,
Great
and I
time.
think overall we can just conclude that V Show was a success this year.
V show was a great time.
We touched on places that we can improve on. So I'm pretty happy. So thank you to Mr. Russell for joining us today on NVTV podcast. I'd also like to thank Chloe for being here today.
Of course, thank you.
Yeah. And thanks for putting this podcast together, guys. The NVTV podcast is produced by media students at Neuqua Valley High School. Enjoy the rest of your day.